Hello, Kulas, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting stories. We are going to start with manager Xavi's pre-match press conference ahead of the Mallorca game. Of course, in that press conference, Xavi spoke about Araujo, Busquets, Ousmane Dembele, Kounde, Fati, Casado ahead of the game against Mallorca. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about former Barcelona striker Luis Suarez. In a recent interview, Suarez have been talking about Barca, Messi, Neymar, Xavi, Araujo, Alba, Fati, Koeman, Luis Enrique. We are going to be discussing on everything Suarez had to say. So guys, as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barcelona will resume the La Liga campaign on Saturday when they travel to Son Moix to face off against RCD Mallorca. The Blaugrana returned to action after an international break that was hard on them due to the number of players that got injured on international duty. However, Xavi Hernandez and co will be gunning to keep their unbeaten run in the competition intact and back all 3 points so that they can keep up the pressure on league leaders Real Madrid, who play on Sunday. On the eve of the game, Barcelona manager Xavi attended his customary pre-match press conference, during which he discussed several subjects ranging from injuries to the opposition and possible selection decisions. Talking about Mallorca, Xavi said, "The game against Mallorca will be complicated. They have a very good defense in their team and direct football in attack. It won't be easy to get the 3 points." On the number of injuries, Xavi said, "I'm disappointed, but we have to be positive. All the injured players are important to us, but it is what it is. We have to be careful and pay attention to every detail. There is no particular reason why a lot of players got injured. Injuries are nobody's fault, not even the national team's fault. Bellerin has also been injured with us. It's not about blaming anyone. I told the squad that everyone was going to be needed." Then talking about who could start at right back, the manager said, "We have a few options like Sergio Roberto or Marc Casado from Barca Athletic, or we can use a left back there." On Ousmane Dembele's condition, he said, "Dembele is fine, he's fully fit." On World Cup schedule, he said, "FIFA plans to organize the World Cup every 2 years. Now we have the World Cup in Qatar during the winter period. I think it would be better if the tournament is compiled at a separate time, then the other time is allocated to the clubs." Then on Spain manager Luis Enrique, Xavi said, "Everyone knows my wonderful relationship with Luis Enrique. We always communicate and we always talk. I always talk to him about the players in the team, explaining to him the details of each Spaniard and how tired or ready they are." On Jules Kounde, he said, "Our goal is for Kounde to come back soon and make a full recovery." On selection policy, he said, "When I choose the 11, I don't take age into account. Any player can play." On Ronald Araujo, he said, "The most impactful injury, of course, it's Araujo because of the length of his absence. It's a shame that he's injured, but injuries are part of football and you have to accept them." On El Clasico, he said, "We have time to recover many players before El Clasico, but Araujo will not be ready for Clasico." On stopping Vinicius Jr. when Barcelona faced Real Madrid, he said, "We still have time and we have to see who comes back first for our players." On criticism towards Enrique, he said, "I think the coach of the Spanish national team is always criticized. Media is sometimes unfair, even the media in Barcelona, but that's the journalist's job, and as coaches, we have to accept that." On Sergio Busquets' future, he said, "Busquets has said publicly that he hasn't decided anything about his future. He will make a decision at the end of the season. He's important to me." On the busy schedule before World Cup, he said, "We have 12 games until the World Cup. All games are going to be very important." On the Mallorca clash, he said, "Tomorrow we have to win and show our character. We have to show our strength." On whether the World Cup will affect the season, he said, "Without a doubt, the demands are high in all competitions, but we have to maintain the level and compete." On Barcelona's defensive contingent, he said, "All the defenders we have a lot of quality." On playing midfielders in defense, he said, "I could play with a midfielder as a centre-back, like Frankie de Jong for example, but these are just ideas." On whether the Bayern Munich game was too big for Alejandro Balde, he said, "Every game is difficult, but we make our choices according to the options, the circumstances, and the rotation system. For me, every player is important." On Marc Casado, he said, "Marc Casado is versatile, he has a fighting spirit, he has character, and that's good for the team. He's a player that I like, and that's why he's with us." On Ansu Fati's Spain squad omission, Xavi said, "He took it as a fact that will motivate him to work harder. He has been great the last 2 weeks in training, he has been doing very well." Then on to the next story of discussion. Luis Suarez will go down as a legend at Barcelona for everything he achieved during his 6 years at Spotify Camp Nou. Signed from Liverpool in the summer of 2014, the Uruguayan international went on to enjoy a storied career at the Catalan club as he formed one of the deadliest attacking trios of the game had ever seen, along with Messi and Neymar Jr., leading the club to numerous trophies. Suarez was forced out of the club in 2020 following the appointment of Ronald Koeman as manager. While his exit might have left a bitter taste, the Uruguayan superstar continues to hold Barcelona close to his heart. The veteran striker sat down for a lengthy interview with Marca recently and spoke about various things from his time at Barcelona and the current Barcelona side under Xavi Hernandez. Suarez addressed the recent controversy that had sparked up when Messi's contract demands from 2020 had been leaked, in which he had demanded a private box at Spotify Camp Nou for his and Suarez family. He said, "You know what's funny? They leaked that thing about Messi wanting a box at the stadium with both of our family may combined, as if it was a big deal. You can look at every contract from players at top clubs. In fact, it could be easier for Barca if we shared one box." Talking about his career at Barcelona, Luis Suarez rated himself 12 on 10 as he believed that, there were not a lot of expectations on him when he joined, but he showed his quality alongside Messi and Neymar. He said, "A 12, due to the expectations with which I arrived, which, were not so high since Messi and Neymar were there. Everyone said that three stars couldn't coexist, but we did. We made Barca one of the best teams in history." He admitted that towards the final stage of his time at the club, he did slow down a little, but he was still netting 20 plus goals. He said, "At the end of our career, your level goes down obviously, but even then, I always scored 25 goals per season." On his relationship with Messi inside the Barcelona dressing room and speculations that they were causing problems inside the locker room, Suarez said, "Leo and I were normal in the dressing room. We had experience and scored goals." However, he admitted that he regrets not having won another UEFA Champions League during his time at Barca. He said, "Should I have won another Champions League? Yes, probably. It bothers me, like not scoring away in the Champions League as well," he said. So I spoke about the current Barcelona squad and highlighted the mix of youth and experience in the squad could lead to team to success. He said, "Pedri, Gavi, Fati, who is coming back, add that to the experience of Jordi Alba, Busey, uh, Ter Stegen. Barca have a team to compete for all titles." When asked if he was surprised about the club's attempts to sell Jordi Alba in the summer, the forward said, "Everyone knows about the salary limit issue. It's complicated for him because, he's not used to it. With his mental strength and experience, he will react well and try to change the situation." Suarez also lamented the unfortunate injury to Barcelona defender and his Uruguay teammate Ronald Araujo before the FIFA World Cup. He said, "Araujo's injury is a real shame. He was playing at a great level. Let's hope that he can play in the World Cup. We need him. Regardless, he needs to stay calm and not rush anything. Otherwise, it can backfire. He can't risk it all for the World Cup." Talking about the economic levers Barcelona had to trigger in the summer, Suarez said, "I think that the people used the levers to show the board members, that they trust their work, knowing the risk that they have. Barca needed to sign players and get back to the protagonism they had lost." On whether the club could have kept hold of Messi if they had the levers in 2021, he said, "They are decisions of that moment, and you never know what would have happened." Speaking on how he was forced out of the club by Koeman in the summer of 2020, Suarez stated, "I would greet Koeman if I saw him, but I hope that he shows to be a great person and says the truth. I wish that Koeman would tell me face to face why I left Barca. It was not because of footballing or technical reasons," he said. The Uruguayan international also gave his vote of confidence to current manager Xavi to lead Barca back to where they belong, saying, I think that Xavi is showing that he can take Barca back to the top. They gave him the tools as well, time to demonstrate it. Suarez further spoke about Messi and rated Argentina as a strong contender for the upcoming FIFA World Cup in Qatar. He said, I speak with him, yes. They have gone 35 games without losing. You always have to have respect for Argentina, but in Qatar more because of how well they have been playing. They are one of the candidates. The former Barcelona superstar also mentioned Spain as a threat because of the presence of manager Luis Enrique, who he said was the best coach he had ever played under. He said, Spain is a candidate because of the players' quality and having the best coach I've ever played in my career. Luis Enrique, it is because of what he transmits and confidence in his ideas. On whether his time in European football was over, Suarez, who joined Nacional in summer, said, My European career is done, and I'm proud of it. Ajax, Liverpool, Barca, Atletico, name a better career than that. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.